Hi everybody and welcome back to Nellie and Ruth Designs. I thought today we would have some fun with coaster collaging. Now, we went out to dinner last night and I came back. They had these cute little coasters on the bar. It's the Chez Pierre restaurant in Wilton, New York. Fabulous, fabulous French restaurant. And I have done the round ATC coins before, and I wanted to try this because my girlfriend Pam over at Tattered Paper and Lace, if you haven't seen her videos, I highly suggest you go over there. I will put her link in the description down below on my feed here. And this year Pam decided that she was going to do her Marguerite Miller collages on round coasters. She has a slew of them, and I absolutely adore all the ones that she has made. And like I said, if you haven't seen her Marguerite Miller collaging on the round coasters, she does a fabulous job. And the one thing I like about Pam is that I think Marguerite will give you five prompts. They're all done with prompts, and she has been combining, like if it says something green and then something vintage, she will combine those two items, and her coasters are so well done. I just love watching her create them. So when I was out to dinner last night, these were on the bar, and I said, you know what? I think it would be really fun to start collecting round coasters of different restaurants that I go to. And as long as they have their name and their logo, this is the Eiffel Tower because it is a French restaurant, and Pierrette, who owns the restaurant, is French. She came right from Paris, and her husband was Pierre. And I just think it would be a lot of fun when and if we travel, that it's kind of like a little scavenger hunt to find round coasters with the restaurant on them, and then I would collage on the back side, and this would be a nice way to remember when we went to that restaurant. I could put a date on here with a little event as to when I picked it up. So I grabbed two, all right? And I thought we would start with the one. And I just think it's something different. And I kept telling Pam, oh, I want to try this. I want to try this. Now, these are, I think the ones that Pam does are 3 inches. These here are 3.5. Yep, these are 3.5 inch round. Okay. So it will give me much more room than when I do the ATCs. And Pam has a really cool clear disc and that she uses, which I really like. I don't know where she got it, but it has a black border around it, and it's clear, so you can put over when you have paper or whatever. You can, if you want to do an entire layout with a back such as this, you can put the clear piece, it's a clear piece of plastic, over it, and then you can play on top of it and kind of figure out your design. It's kind of like a little cheat sheet, but I really like it. So I would love to have you stick around and watch. I think it's something that you could definitely get hooked on. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen a round collage before, welcome. I think you'll enjoy it. It is quite fun. And a thank you to all of my returning subscribers and anyone that has new that has subscribed. Thank you. So we're going to work on this one. And I'm going to grab this one here. This one looked, the other one looked like it had a little water stain on it, probably a little beer spilled on it. So I wasn't quite sure what to do because when I watch Pam, like I said, she does the Marguerite Miller and she has prompts. So I have these little tiny stickers that I bought, Follow in Your Footsteps, and these are women, and this is the back, what's in the package. And then I have these Falling Leaves collection, and these are just all really pretty leaves. And I chose this color because I just kind of want it to be a little muted, a little soft. I have all different colors. I have lavender, but I just thought this would be a really pretty color, and I thought it would go well with the girls that I picked. Then I have all these little tiny pieces of ephemera here, which again would work really well in a mini journal. All right, so I have all of these. So I'm just going to kind of separate these out. And we'll just have a little play. That's an empty one. And then I can put the leaves and the flowers. It doesn't look like I got very many leaves or flowers in this. It looks more like the little pieces of ephemera here. Okay, all right. All right, so I'm just going to stick these here. I think I used some of the flowers too out of this little pack. So I have those. We're going to move these off over here. And then these are some of the gals in that pack, and I just think that they're really cute. And I like it because they are facing away. And these are also good if you have a daily journal. I have a daily log, a calendar book that I write in, and these are cute to put on the paper, the pages as well, just as a little something. And I think these are really cute. The three friends here walking along, and these would be really cute in a garden journal. And then I really like this one here with the two gals. So that's what I chose for this little project. I'm not using scraps or anything like that. I'm just using the stickers. And then I have this book here. This is an older book, An Illustrated History of the Garden Flower Flora by Brent Elliott. And these have wonderful, really nice images. And if you're going to make a garden journal or just for collaging, scrapbooking, a lot of times I will fussy cut an image out and I put it in my, when I do the family photos or I work with my mom's photos. You just can't go wrong with flowers. So this is a lovely book, and I like it because it has the sketches and the black and white and the colored pages. So I grabbed 2 pages out of this. And I have this one here, which I really like. And then I have this here. I don't want to use the rose. And I think this is just a little too much. And this is where this can come in handy, because you can put it down, and I'm sure you can see the line. And then that way you don't have to cut your paper. Like if you pull something out and you say, oh, I really like this, and then you cut the circle and then you don't like it, you haven't ruined the paper, and then you can use this as for a pocket in a journal or a tag, something like that. So this is a nice way to just kind of play with your images and see if this is something that, you know, and you can just play like this with different things. And I think that's fun up there, and then the tulip, but I think that's too much, because I'd rather have the focus on the girls. So this one here has the butterfly and the flower, which is lovely as well. And I think this would be a really pretty scene, especially if you have something like this and she's just sitting here and she's just kind of gazing out. This, if you wanted to move this over a little bit, you could actually have her right here like that in the center. And you could have the butterflies. That looks like a moth butterfly here. And that would be lovely as well. And again, you don't have to do a lot. You don't have to collage a lot on anything. You could have it where it's just a little something. Because remember, it's, you know, even though you want to collage the back, I'm saving the front as a kind of like a souvenir. And these could go in a clear slip. You could actually start a little collection like baseball cards. So you could do something like that. And, you know, have this. You could also just add a little bit of color like that with the black and white. I mean, that's really pretty as well. So that's one option, okay? And then I have this one. That's why I have the two coasters, because I may do two with you. Then I have this one. And again, it just depends on what you want to do, what you want to use. So this here, you can see, you could place this one right along here. You'd have a little bit of lettering up there, but it's okay. If you wanted to use more, well, you can't use more white space because that would be about the end that you could go. And then you could do something like this with the girls. And again, I wouldn't use any of the floral because you have the purple here. So I would just try to find maybe a little something here. You know, maybe something like that. Could go under the girls. And just keep it, you know, just keep it simple. And this is like a 4. You know, you could put something up there like that. All right, so there's a lot of different things that you could do. So I have to decide. I do like this, or you can have it over here. You could have it like this, where you could get, if you are a flower buff like me, and you want to put the name of this flower in there, that can be done as well. So you could have it something like that. And if you wanted to do all the girls here, you could put them there, something like that. And again, if you want to stick this underneath, that would be lovely as well. Something like that, and then you have the flower there. All right. So it just depends on the look that you are trying to achieve. And I know it's hard. I mean, I love all of these images. And look at that. Isn't that really cute? Where you got the two girlfriends and the green. The green gets picked up so nicely. Right there. And we could use... I wouldn't use that because I wouldn't want to take away from the girls. And you don't even have to put anything. You could literally just put those two girls on there. And that just makes a very sweet piece as well. And if you did something like this, I mean, without a coaster, if you want to make, you could make a lovely card. And that could be the front of the card. as well and send it to your girlfriend, which might be a nice idea. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll save that image for a card and send it to my girlfriend. We could make a card together, a round card. That would be really cute. So I'm going to set this aside because I do like that idea. And then I think I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this one here because I just think this is really pretty. And I think I'm going to move. I would like that. I don't want to really cut that leaf off. I want to have that leaf in there a little bit as well. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to trace around this. And then probably, I don't have a 3.5 by 3.5 inch punch. A round punch. So I'm going to have to cut. I'm going to have to cut around this. And I think what I will do, I'm going to cut inside a little bit because it's a little bit larger. Hopefully, I'm not really good at cutting round circles. At all. I hope this works out okay. I'm wondering as well, I know Pam takes a file to hers. I'm wondering if it would be appropriate to cut a little bit bigger, glue it down, and then take a file and file the edge. And I think maybe that's what Pam does. Or I could put that on there and then I could take my X-Acto knife and go around the edge as well. I think what I'm going to do though is I'm going to put this on with Mod Podge and a brush instead of using glue. So let me grab that. All right, so I have the Mod Podge and I'm just going to put this on here like this. I don't want to get it too thick. And if I do sand down the side, the paper will be stuck, you know, to the round side here, and I think it'll work out well. All right, let's put that there. Now, because it's round, this is what makes it nice. You can just kind of put that down and put it down where you want. It's not like you have to line it up. And then what I'm going to do is I have to let this dry now. So I will let this dry, and then once it's dry, I'll try sanding around the side or cutting, and then we'll get it decorated, okay? All right, so it's all glued down, and I did cut around it. I did try a little bit at first to do some sandpaper. I didn't like the way that it came out, so I just went and I cut it. So there is my 3.5 by 3.5 inch little coaster. And now I can play with these little stickers here. And I did choose this, I guess it's like a sepia look, because I think adding the color is better. A little bit color here. and it's not going to take away from anything else. So I have this here, but that's not really going. I want something kind of like in the same direction. I have this, which is cute. That kind of goes over to the side a little bit. I think that's fine. Let's see, what else do we have? This one with a little bit less. I don't think that's enough because you don't really see it. I don't want this one because that's like a tree. That's a lot in there. Don't want that. Don't want this one. This is going in the opposite direction. Those are little leaves. I don't know. I don't want them. Don't want a leaf. Let's try this one. This is similar to this one here, but it does have a little bit more to it. But again, I don't know. I don't think I'm crazy about that one either. I think I'm going to stick with this one because I do like these colors. So we're going to put these over here. Let me look at this here. It really kind of takes up. Yep, no, I'm not going to do that. Nope, that doesn't work. That's not the look I'm going for. And then as far as, I have a couple different choices here. I do like her sitting here like this. But now I don't know if I like this because it kind of looks like a feather coming out of her cap. So let me find my girl that I might want to use. Now, I also have these. I guess it just depends on what look, if I want it cutesy or if I want it these are kind of cutesy. Let's take these off. I don't think these are going to give enough color, okay? That's where you just have to play. And again, like I always say, this is these are fun projects. I actually I've got something on Netflix right now that is paused. And this is the kind of crafting that I like to do, where I can just watch a little TV and play in my craft room. And that I would have to move her down here like that, because of the way her legs are positioned. But I don't want that. But you get to see what these little stickers look like. That's a table. I think that's too light. I don't really want a picnic basket on there. Don't want that. So I'm going to stick, but aren't these cute? I'm going to stick with the stickers I had originally picked out, all right? So let's go back. Remember, I had picked that. I like her. I could also try her, but now I don't feel like I could use something like this. I wouldn't use that. I don't want to use her. I don't know if I want the girls. I don't really want them facing the flower. So I think what I will do is I'm going to use her, this girl here, because she's sitting sideways. And I just think having this behind her is quite lovely. Like that, okay? So now I think I'm going to need a little bit more, or a little bit more color behind her. Let's go back to this, and maybe I will use that. It adds a little bit more color. And remember how I said I want it to go that way? Well, maybe I don't. Maybe I want it to come up around her. Something like that, that comes up and around, I think is quite nice as well. So this is the same. And I just think this is a little too much here. Yeah. So I think I'm going to go with this one. Those leaves right there. And if I put them there like that, I can put her here. I think that'll be nice like that. Maybe even more over on this side. So when I put this sticker down, I'm going to make sure that these leaves, because I'll take her off, but this leaf here is right over this part of the butterfly. And then I'll know exactly where to place her. So that'll come off. And that will be just like that. Okay. And then we can take her. Now I don't want to put her down yet, because if I want to add one of these little stickers, I'm thinking that, I know this has a little saying, but you really can't tell. I could put that something like that. Or I could cut this in half and just put that maybe like that, which I think I'll do. I'll cut this down. And I will add this. Right there. And now I can go ahead and add her. And I think that'll be fine. And then we'll be done. So you can see that you don't have to fuss a lot when you make a little collage like this. And I think Pam has it a little bit easier because she is using, I want to cover this flower up a little bit more here. She is using prompts. And she actually has to pick out the prompts, where I'm just kind of free going here. And I have to build it up myself. There, so there you have it. And I don't think it needs anything more. But I think that's really pretty like that, with just a back real pretty piece, and then adding a few stickers, and you have yourself a lovely collage. So on the front, or on the back, I've got the collage, and then on the back side, I have the restaurant. And then I can put a date on there, or the event that we had. And I think this could be the start of a nice little collection, a fun collection. And it will give me something to search out and seek for when I go to a new place. So that's it for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this video and my take on the coaster collaging. And again, I encourage you to go over and check Pam out, because she has some lovely circle collages coaster collages that she's doing with the Marguerite Miller. So that is it. I want everyone to have a great week or a great weekend, depending on when you are viewing this. And I will see you in my next video. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.